I spotted these small fry hugging tight against one of these rocks, and in the background you can see the female Serenachromis. After a little while, these fry started to draw unwanted attention from the other cichlids in the area, and this one in particular looks like it could be a juvenile of the same species, which would mean that cannibalism is part of life for these cichlids in the lake. As soon as one cichlid arrived on the scene, it seemed to draw attention from others, and before you knew it, there were 4 or 5 cichlids having a really good and close look at the small fry. Eventually it was too much for the mother and she decided to move in. I didn't actually see any cichlids pick off any fry on this particular occasion, and she was very vigilant in her defense of them. She expends massive amounts of energy during the month that she cares for her fry, as opposed to the male of the species who has no parental involvement whatsoever. Eventually she started to take a few of these fry into her mouth. But time again she would disappear and then return to the scene to pick up a few more. I can only suspect that perhaps they've grown to a size where she can't take them all in the mouth at one sitting, and perhaps there'll be a few stragglers left behind. Eventually it was whittled down to just a few fry left. I spotted another 4 or 5 on the top of the rock. Yep, space enough for them too. And ultimately, last 2 stragglers made their way in. So we headed down to find the mother Serenachromis, which we had spotted a few days ago. On the way, we came across these huge but beautiful bowers. These are essentially the breeding arenas for some of the largest cichlid species in the lake. I did note, however, that there was an absence of adult fish around, but that they are well maintained and therefore must still be in use. And finally we came across the area in which I thought she may be. She was hanging by the flat ledge in the back of picture, and as I approached I saw all the fry milling about the edge of the nursery. The cautious mother was keeping a wary lookout. At this point the fry moved behind the rock to put the rock between themselves and myself. And the mother moves in and opens her mouth to allow them into the safety of this cavity. These fry are in the last week of the month-long maternal period, where they are able to enter the mother's mouth. After this they will become too large and they must move out and fend for themselves. It is expected that only 2 fry of this clutch will actually make it to adulthood. And with a mouthful of fry, she still chases off other predatory cichlids, which are threatening her fry. And finally, with the very last one in the safety of her mouth, she heads off into the safety of the depths. I was very pleased to be able to relocate this mother Serenachromis and once again witness this amazing maternal adaptation.